Hi everyone, Allison here, and welcome to the Washcloth Wednesday series. Before we get started, I wanted to do this little intro video just to go over the supplies we're going to be using for all of these washcloths. I might down the road switch it up a little bit, add in some fun extras and that kind of thing, but we'll go over that when that month happens. For the most part, we are going to be using the Noble Cotton from Cascade Yarn. So this is a 3-weight or double knit DK weight yarn. It is a 100% mercerized cotton yarn. So what does that mean? Mercerized is a process where the yarn is treated to make it a little bit more resistant to bacteria growth, which makes it great for things like washcloths. If you're making garments out of this, things like swimsuit cover-ups, I made a little crochet tank top for my daughter out of this. So light, breezy patterns are great in this. Anything with a heavier solid stitch in cotton is generally going to be a little bit heavier, so just keep that in mind if you're making a wearable. But home decor pieces, table runners, dishcloths, all that kind of stuff is really fantastic in this Noble Cotton. Now, when you buy it, it comes like this. You cannot work with it like this. Just don't even try. If you're ordering from me, I will wind this into what is called a cake. Now, this is not a full cake. This is just a partial, it's from my stash basically. But this is what a cake looks like. It's round like this. I will leave you a nice tail so you can have the center pull, and it's way easier to work with in this form. If you try and unwind this and work with this without winding it into a ball or a cake, you will just suffer greatly. Let's put it that way. So anyways, we have 3 different types of Noble Cotton in stock, and in fact Cascade Yarns makes 3 different types of Noble Cottons. So first and foremost are the solids. So we have lots of colors in stock. I have just placed an order for a lot more colors, so look to see those come in a few weeks. Yeah, I think there's about 80 different solid colors available from Cascade. I will not have all 80 at this point. Maybe down the road I will have all 80 in stock, but for now I think I've got about 10 in stock right now, and then I've just ordered another 10, so that should give us a lot of choice for you guys. The other 2 variations are the tie-dye, and I think I have 5 different color variations of the tie-dye, and this is beautiful. I will show you what it looks like caked up. This is the red version, and we will be making some washcloths with that because it gives a really fun pattern to it. And then I have the hand-dyed, and I think I have 5 versions of this as well. So this is what the hand-dyed looks like once it's caked up. This obviously is a different colorway. This is the Spring Bouquet. This one is Stormy Cloud, I think. Yeah, really beautiful. One of the dishcloths we're going to be making later uses this hand-dyed yarn, so it really gives a lovely color variation throughout. Okay. What else do we need to make these washcloths? For the crochet versions, I will not talk to the knit versions. I'll let Fiona talk about that. But for the crochet versions, we're going to be using a 4.5mm hook. And then you just need scissors, yarn needle. If you have a tape measure, and you're welcome to use it. It is helpful when you're trying to make your dishcloth square, especially if you are a beginner and you have trouble counting your rows. I will talk about how to count each pattern as we go through this. But for now, that is all you need. 4.5mm hook, scissors, and a yarn needle. That is your basic equipment. And then of course some yarn. If you choose to use a different yarn, that's totally fine. If you want these to be dishcloths, please use cotton. 100% cotton is the way to go for all dishcloths. It is the best yarn to use for dishcloths. If you go with an acrylic blend or an acrylic or even a wool, it's just not going to clean the same. It's going to be a nightmare. You can go with like a different brand. You can buy my Suds cotton if you want, my 24/7 cotton from Lion brand. Those are all 4-weight cottons, and so you will need a slightly bigger hook. The 24/7 cotton, you might be able to get away with a 4.5mm hook. Some of the stitch patterns might be a little bit more tricky, so you might want to go up a hook size. The Suds, I would definitely go up to a 5. And if you are purchasing any cottons from Walmart, Michaels, a different local yarn store, please support local yarn stores before you support Walmart and Michaels. I'm just going to put that out there. But then just make sure that your hook size matches whatever the label says on your yarn, and know that your dishcloth is probably going to be a different size. Okay? If you choose not to make dishcloths and you just want to learn the stitch pattern and make yourself a little swatch to have, or you want to make a whole lot of squares of different patterns to make a blanket, then you can use whatever yarn you want. Make sure your hook size matches the yarn label, and know that your squares might be slightly different sizes, so that could be awkward if you're making it into a blanket. So each stitch pattern that I write, I'm telling you what the stitch repeat is, so you can alter how big your starting chain is with that information. Okay, I think that's a lot of information to start with. So welcome, and all right, have fun, guys, and we'll see you in class.